Let me tell you an interesting fact about Jesus that you probably didn't learn in Sunday school class. And if you like this teaching and you want to see others like it, hit like and follow right here. How many of us remember being taught that when Jesus comes back, his robe dipped in blood, as it says right here, is his blood of redemption? I surely know I heard it taught. Yeah, when Jesus comes back, his robe is dipped in his own blood to signify the redemption in which he got us. It really sounds good and it sounds theologically correct, but it's not. Let me tell you what the blood is actually. You see in Isaiah chapter 63, it is a message about the return of the Messiah, who is Jesus. Who is this that comes from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? The one who is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. Why is your apparel red? He then says, their blood is sprinkled on my garments, for I have stained all my robes. And if you keep reading, you notice it's the blood of his enemies. Yes, Jesus has the blood of his enemies on his robe.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem and Kakwadash. Giving double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. And shalom to all the brothers out here laboring this truth with sincerity, with sound doctrine. And shalom to the few sisters that watch. And we just going to get into a quick lesson today, kind of like a fact check with this dude, Ty Jackson. You know, he goes into Revelation 19 and 13 and then, goes to Isaiah 63, which clearly, he learned that from the prophets, man, because this guy has came up against the prophets, in times before. So clearly you can see he's the type person that'll learn from the prophets and then use what he thinks will benefit his cause, not bringing out the truth, but, trying to, use it for his benefit. But we'll go into Revelation 19 and then we'll watch that again and then we'll, break down what he's saying, which is completely not even half the story, man. Not even a quarter of the story, man. So we'll go to Revelation 19 and 13. It says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. And we know, we go into word, that's pursuing to John 1:1, speaking of Yahweh Shai, man. But he said something about the blood is the redemption, which it is, is the redemption of his people, man. He's coming to redeem his people, which are ultimately the elect, man, of Israel only. So it is redemption, redemption and destruction, man. So we'll go to Isaiah 63 and go into what he's saying, with more facts, who clearly will describe who his enemies are, man. This is speaking of a particular nation of people. And it says God's vengeance on the nations, which we speaking of one particular nation right now, man. He's magnifying what he's going to do to this one particular nation right here. So we'll go back to what this guy said, and then we'll get into the scripture, man, just to get a idea of where his head is at.
Let me tell you an interesting fact about Jesus that you probably didn't learn in Sunday school class. And if you like this teaching and you want to see others like it, hit like and follow right here. How many of us remember being taught that when Jesus comes back, his robe dipped in blood, as it says right here, is his blood of redemption? I surely know I heard it taught. Yeah, when Jesus comes back, his robe is dipped in his own blood to signify the redemption in which he got us. It really sounds good and it sounds theologically correct, but it's not. Let me tell you what the blood is actually. You see in Isaiah chapter 63, it is a message about the return of the Messiah, who is Jesus. Who is this that comes from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? The one who is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. Why is your apparel red? He then says, their blood is sprinkled on my garments, for I have stained all my robes. And if you keep reading, you notice it's the blood of his enemies. Yes, Jesus has the blood of his enemies on his robe.
Which you can pretty much see this guy as a joke, you know. Who is his enemies that's being spoken of? You know, we're going to get into that. It says, the book of Isaiah chapter 63, starting at verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom? Okay, first of all, you know, if you're going to teach somebody, you need to teach them who is Edom. Who is Edom? And we're going to get into that. With dyed garments from Basra. Okay, where is Basra? What is Basra? You know, this guy, man, these Christians, man, they do anything to try to save Esau, man. You know, he wanted to bring out the truth, or what he seems to think is the truth, and leave out key points, man, of who these people are and where is this region. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Okay. All you got, you know, we go into it. First of all, we'll go to Edom. Edom, as you can see, red. And we know that we in this truth know this is going into Esau, man, so-called white man. And it says Edom, the elder twin brother of Jacob, hence the region Idumea occupied by him. And when you go into that word Idumea, that's the Greek way of saying Edom. So it's the same thing, just the Greek way of saying it. And let's see, Basra, man. What is Basra? You know, he didn't even go into that. Basra.
Strong's H1224. Botzra. Botzra.
Botzra. All right, the same as Botzra, a place in Edom. So this is strictly dealing with the Edomites, man. Not all nations, you know. His enemies, as the guy said, but we speaking of his the number one enemy, you know. All right, this is verse 2. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat. Verse 3. I have trodden the winepress alone. And when you know, the winepress, man, that's speaking of Babylon the Great, America, man. Which he's coming to destroy this place, man. You know. This is where the main concentration of wickedness is going throughout the earth, man. So America is the wine press, and he's gonna trodden the wine press alone. And the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. And this is speaking of America, man, and like it was spoken of in verse 1, man. It's speaking of Edom, and what Basra would be considered America today, Babylon, man. Verse 4: For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. So that blood that's going to be on his garment, man, is going to be it's not his blood, it's the blood of Edom, Esau, Edom, the redemption of his people, man. That's why the blood is on his garment, because he's coming to redeem his people, and he's going to do it by overthrowing Esau. All right, verse 5. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury, it upheld me. Verse 6. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and I will make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. And what's the strength of Babylon the Great, Esau, Edom, man? It's his weaponry, man. His military. That's the only strength that's the only thing that's sustaining America right now, man. The weaponry, because it's not the money, because the money, the dollar is on the way out. You know, the only thing that's keeping America in power right now, man, is that weaponry, man. So this is speaking of Esau, Edom, not just his enemies, you know. Because when you say enemies, you know, anybody that goes against the Most High, man, that's his enemy. And no matter the nationality, you know, it can even be Israelites, man. So we want to identify who exactly Esau, Edom is according to the Isaiah. So we're gonna go into the book of Genesis, chapter 36, and verse 1. It says, now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. So when it's speaking of Edom and dyed garments from Basra, it's speaking of a particular people, and that's Esau, man. And we know that Esau, Edom, is the so-called white man. So let's jump down to verse 8. It says, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. So anytime it's speaking of Edom, it's speaking of Esau. Even if it don't directly say Esau as a person. Anytime you see Edom, you know it's speaking of Esau. That nationality of people, man. So now when you see Mount Seir, that's basically the home of Esau. That's his main habitation. All right, we'll go to Isaiah 34. And we'll jump down to verse 6. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 6. The sword of the Lord Yahweh is filled with blood, and it is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of the lambs and goats, and the fat of the kidneys of the rams. For the Lord Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So you see Basra again. So you know that's directly related to Esau, man. Just like it was stated in Isaiah 63. And then once again, you see Idumea, and we know that's the Greek way of saying Edom. So let's look up Idumea and see exactly what Idumea is. And there you have it, man. You know, you can see these photos. Let's see. Hey, man, that's the rocks, man. That's the cave. And we know who we know throughout history who have been known as the caveman, man. I mean, this stuff is right in your face, you know. But you got these Christians, man, and these other people out here, man, that's blinded and can't get it. Or they don't want to get it, you know. Ultimately, how about Shimei Abshai got them blinded, but you know, you got the wicked, man. They just want to accept who they are. And it says, Edom, even though we looked up Idumea, you see that Edom comes up. It says Edom was an ancient kingdom In Transjordan, located between Moab, the northeast, and Arabia to the west, and the Arabian Desert to the south and east. Most of its former territory is now divided between present day and southern Israel and Jordan. But, as well as Israel, it's a people before it's a place now, because we are scattered and they're also scattered, man, But the main concentration of that wickedness, man, is right here in Babylon the Great. But as we see, man, we connecting the dots on who Edom is, as well as Esau, man. It's only one particular nationality of people that dwelled in caves, man. They even know that. They'll show you on the Geico commercial, as well as like the old cartoon Captain Caveman, man. It's a known fact that these people are cavemen. And, Lord willing, somebody will be edified by this lesson, man. All right, we'll go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, and we'll jump down to verse 16. Salaki. It said, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks. And we just saw that, man. Salakia. I should have kept that photo up, but we just seen the clefts of the rocks, man. We just saw the image of the clefts of the rock. It says that holdeth his height of hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, Salakia, saith the Lord, Yahweh. It says, and also Edom shall be a desolation. There we go again. Identifying who we talking about, man. You gotta put this stuff together. Clefts of the rock. We just showed you the habitation of Esau. And then, verse 17, it identifies exactly who Jeremiah, it identifies exactly who was being spoken of. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at the plague, at all the plagues thereof. And this place right here gonna be a desolation, man. It won't be inhabited again, ever. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is gonna utterly destroy this place, man. I'm just moving kind of quickly, there was just something that, I just put together right quick. But we'll go to the book of Obadiah. Salakia. And there you have it, man. Edom will be humbled. All right, we'll start at verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus said the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And man, these other nations can't stand Esau, Edom, man. All around the world, man, they are despised, man, by these other heathen nations. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock. And there we go again, man, with the clefts of the rock, man. Whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's Esau, the pride of Esau, man. They think that pursuant to Psalms 49 and 11. They think their housing is going to continue, man. I don't know if this will let me look up Cliffs of the Rock to see, you know, if see what'll come up. But we already saw that, you know, it's Idumea, Edom. Let's see, images. All right, boom, we got some more. Got some more, well, they got animals in there. But we'll look up Idumea again. There it is. Idumea, that's the clefts of the rock that's being spoken of, man. And as we can see, kingdom of Edom, Petra. Man, you know, that's Esau all day, man. Caveman, that's the origins of it right there. Idumea. So, you know, all this stuff, man, it can be put together, man. We filter everything through the scriptures, man. So, what that guy is talking about, man, we don't know. And we know that Yahweh is coming back to overthrow this wicked kingdom, man. But Job 9:24 specifically shows you who is in rulership. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And we know this is Esau, man. The wicked of the earth. So, hey, man, you know, the guy going off bad, but he's a Christian, you know. So we'll go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 6. And we'll get verse 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. So when he come back and that blood is on his garment, this is whose blood it is, man. Esau's blood, man. For Esau is the end of the world, so that's going to be the end of Esau's rulership, which is going to bring in the rulership of Yahweh Shai, man. So that's what that means, man. You know, Lord willing, somebody was edified by this lesson. And, you know, we want to say shalom.